Okay. So I guess Joe just doesn't show up all the time. He just decides when he can be here and when he can't. Is that how it works now?
Apparently, douchebag.
Son of a bitch.
I think we should. We're done. I think we did our show. We did our quota for the week.
Yeah. Hey there, Internet. I'm Eric.
And I'm the king.
And you're listening to Just Cool Enough. And I think maybe, just maybe, I found a way to make my computer not crash when I'm playing Grand Theft Auto 5.
Nice.
So that's really. I've been having a problem like where it's crashing, and it's been doing this for other games too. But Grand Theft Auto was just the latest one. It's been doing it more so than any other, and I couldn't figure out why. I started running like various like monitors and stuff like that to play. And what I noticed is like it always, whenever it crashes, it always says my GPU load is at 100%, and that's exactly when it starts crashing. So I assumed it just getting overloaded. It's not getting overheated because the heat's not an issue. I don't know. It's just fucking my graphics card. So I fucking underclocked it just a tad, and so far I've been playing. It's been good. I did that like a week ago, but then barely played at all. But now I've been the past 2 days been playing a lot. No crashes.
Well, that's always nice because I mean, nothing like being in an MMO and having it crash on you while you play.
Yeah,
not like other people are relying on you to like be able to do stuff.
Well, and it's like it's always when I was like, not always, but like I was always scared to play Grand Theft Auto Online because I was worried it was gonna fucking crash on me because it would do that. I was like, I can't play anyone's heist. I have to just be in like regular missions, or if it's my heist, it's okay. But you know, but I think I might have fixed it. So that's cool. But speaking of fixing it, we fixed the problem where there were too many people on this show and not enough me by kicking Joe off apparently. But now he's still desperate to be on the show, so he sends emails like this one, which he sent to the show at justcoolenough.com, which you can always email us, like a lot of people did today, the past few days. Yeah, Joe, I had no idea Joe was going to... I assumed, because he's, like, posting, like, fucking Facebook, Twitter, all over this shit. Like, on my way home, I can see my house from here. And then it fucking sent us an email an hour ago. I was like, I guess he's not going to be here. God damn it.
So, yeah, this email is a few questions for Eric and Ike. And he says, hi, everybody, Eric and Ike. I hope you're doing well, and I just wanted to check in with the show. Can't wait to be on the show next week. Yeah, I'll believe it when I see it. I've been very successful on this recent business trip to Germany, and I wanted to know how you guys define success and happiness in your life. I feel like, for me, success is being happy. Happiness for me is having enough money to enjoy your free time with the people you care about. I kind of hate that I sound so materialistic, but I feel like this to me is being honest with myself and the world we live in. How do you define success, and what does it take for you to be, quote, happy? Is it even possible to be truly happy? Talk to you guys on the show next week. Fuck you, Joe. Again, he didn't put an apostrophe in there, so it just reads fuck you, Joe.
Yeah. I fucking way to get existential on us. Hey, guys, I won't be here. Anyways, how do you define true happiness and materialism get in the way of it all? I don't know. I think I'm happy-ish. I'm happier than I have been in my life since I moved to Los Angeles, and especially since I started doing comedy stuff and making friends and stuff. So I'd say I'm probably the happiest I've been since I was a kid and didn't know that life was a horrible crapshoot where nothing ever goes right. So I don't know. I maybe I could be happier. I still got a lot of issues. Probably should be in therapy. Like everyone I know is in therapy, and they are honestly baffled when I tell them I've never been to therapy. I probably should do it, and it would probably help me, as it has helped many of the people I know. But I don't know. I'd say I'm fairly happy. For me, there's goals that I set for myself that it's like I'll be happy when, and then there are goals I never attain. Like I'll be happy when I drop another 20 pounds. I've told myself that much. When I hit about 180, I'll be so happy. But of course, if I ever hit 180, then I'll realize that I need to hit 170 to truly be happy. Or so I don't know. It's always pushing the goalpost back.
I define happiness, I suppose, as Joe being on the show, that makes me happier. I mean, mostly it's just you talking, Eric, which I'm fine with, but it's nice to have Joe here since he, likes us putting out content, never shows up. No, I'd say I'm mostly happy. I learned somewhere in high school not to give a flying fuck what other people thought about me, and it really made a difference. And now I look at the high schoolers I teach, and I'm like, why do you care how many pairs of shoes you have or what shoes you have? Like, nobody's going to give a shit when you get out of high school. Like, doesn't matter to me. I still dye my hair funny colors, and I let the kids at the end of every year pick what color I color my hair. And like 2 years ago, they're like, oh, it's going to be pink. And so I did it pink for a month. And everyone thought it was really funny, but I'm like, it really doesn't bother me at all. I don't know. So true happiness to me, I think I've attained it. I don't mind. I'm not very materialistic. I was actually just gave some money to somebody I don't know to help them pay off some of their student debt that they're in.
Yeah, I would say, and to your point, making it a self thing, like not looking for what other people can do for you, but like making it your own independent, like being okay with yourself. I think in my just verbiage of just bullshit that I spout, I think my thing is like, I'm trying to be happy just being me. And I'm happier as me than I've been in a while. So there's that,
Well, I mean, it seems that you seem very successful in going out there and being the anti-you that you are now the anti-you of what you were. You've become more social. I'm not saying you're going to go out and like party up every night, but I think it definitely seems like you are happier. And I think a lot of it happens to do with the fact that you've spread your social wings and turned into a butterfly. Yeah,
I have a more active social. I realized it was last week. I've basically been the past few weeks, maybe a month or two, I'd been showering basically daily because there was a reason I had to leave the house. And then last week we moved my improv practice group from Wednesday to Saturday of that week. So there was this giant gap where Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, I had nothing. And I didn't, I ended up showering just because I felt weird for not having, because I was getting so used to it, because I was like, what? God damn it. I'm not doing anything. Jesus, this is fucking boring as shit. But yeah, I'm a work in progress, but I think I'm getting better and being more active and doing more active things and not being so terrified of I don't know what it is that I just fucking like. I remember at the end of one improv class where we all were really close and everyone really liked each other and we were friends and we later became friends, but I just fucking snuck out and left. I just Irish goodbye'd that shit. Like didn't talk to anyone, just fucking left. Like snuck out. I don't know why that's an instinct of mine to just do shit like that. But I'm better at that, trying to be terrible. And also when I do totally horrible, embarrassing shit, I let it sit with me forever, but I don't show that it sits with me forever.
I can sympathize with that. And Joe wants to know how we define success.
I would not. I mean, that again, it's a goalpost that keeps moving because when I first started doing improv and sketch, I wanted to be on a house team for the UCB, but that becomes increasingly less of a thing I want. Like certainly a sketch house team, I'm at the point where like almost after the first year of doing my own sketch show with my sketch team, I realized that it wouldn't I don't know if it's not a huge opportunity. It's not going to open a lot of doors for me more so than what I'm already doing. So I apply every year, but I'm not devastated every year when they don't pick me. And I am now on an improv house team at the Nerdist School, and that's really awesome. But now that any club that would have me is not worth being a part of. It's that sort of thing. It's like if I weren't picked for a house team, I would have been like, oh man, maybe next time. But now that I'm on one, I'm like, oh wow, they'll have me do it. Ugh,
what's wrong? They'll take me. What's that say about their standards?
Yeah, it's not worth being a part of then. But yeah, that's just it's just that thing of moving goalposts for me. I mean, I want to do more sketch. I want to write more. I'm working that book I wrote in November. I wrote a second draft, and I passed it on to a friend to read who I don't think has read it, and I'm gonna try and publish that. Like, I'm just gonna, once I'm sort of satisfied, I'll probably maybe get some notes on it again, and then fucking give it to somebody to proofread it, and then put it on fucking Kindle, and see how well that is. Not going to make money, but you know, I don't know. I don't have any goals like I have aspirations of like writing for movies and acting, but I don't know how to accomplish anything. I'm at this weird spot where I don't know how to do anything.
So successes are defined by the goals for which you strive for.
Yeah.
I would have to say I would agree with that. I mean, for me, as long as I have a job, a house over, a roof over my head, and you know, I'm not going hungry, I feel like I have succeeded. I have very low standards, and then it's like after that, it's kind of individually. Like, I don't know, this past weekend, for example, we played Humans versus Zombies. It was a giant tag game out on the campus at the school that I used to go to, and it was an alumni game. So I was definitely the oldest person there at 32, and there were definitely like 18-year-olds there. And my goal was in order to be successful, was to make it to the last mission. And there were 6 missions split between Saturday and Sunday. And I survived and died during the last mission. And I can consider that to be a success because I got to show all the new whippersnappers that you gotta, you know, that they gotta keep up with the old fart in order to win. But successes are, I guess, for me, they're small and attainable rather than something that's, you know, too high. I like to set the bar high, but make it something I can achieve rather than something that's unachievable.
Yeah, and my goals I don't think are unachievable, but they're just kind of ethereal at this point. It's like I want to write and act. I don't have any specific direction into what that is, because I kind of feel like at the moment I'm still learning how to do all this shit. Like this is kind of like my schooling, my college for better or for worse is this kind of stuff. So I'm not directly looking like I don't, like every year that goes by that I'm not a series regular on a sitcom doesn't like anger me, but you know, and it's fun. Like I would like to, you know, have my own place in my own car, but again, that's not like I get embarrassed when I tell people I live at home, but in Los Angeles, people nobody's ever gone, ugh, you live with your mom? People always go, oh, lucky? You know, it's so fucking strange.
Well, you know, the median age of living with parents is going up anyway because of student debt and all that bull. So, yeah.
Except I have no debt. I have no skills. You know,
well, that is your skill. Your skill of the lack thereof of skills.
Yeah.
Because how many people can say they have no skills? I by the way, at some point today, before the show's over, I know I missed D&D this week, and I know everyone cares about how well we do, but I also figured I would share what I got in Loot Crate. While we're at it at some point. But we do have another email first.
Yes, we do.
I figure we'll touch on. This is from Scotty Dag Robo Dag. Scotty writes in. He says, "Wildstar is the subject," and he says, "Dudes, I've watched like 100 hours of backed episodes. You guys can apologize later. Anyway, I just got to the Let's Play of Wildstar, and after watching 4.5 hours of us playing, it made me miss it. Did anyone actually pick the game up and play it after we did? Is there any interest in playing it again? Fuck you, Joe. Love, Scotty."
No, and nah, not really.
I'm in the same boat. It never really seemed to me like it picked up and went someplace that we didn't expect it to go that made it better.
Yeah, it just felt like it felt like World of Warcraft. It didn't do anything, and I've said this before about MMOs, it didn't do anything that like fucking blew me away or anything. It was just like, oh, this is just like World of Warcraft. Mom, why don't I just play? I think like as soon as we stopped playing that, I re-upped for World of Warcraft. As what happens with most of these times. I go, man, this is kind of fun. Makes me want to play World of Warcraft. I better go play World of Warcraft.
But and that I'm sure that's because you poured so many hours and so much time and life and effort into World of Warcraft that why would you want to restart from the beginning?
Well, no, because I restart in World of Warcraft all the time. I start new characters. I think it's just because I'm so comfortable with it. It just fits. I know what I'm getting. I know, and there's always improvements. And I've said this probably before. It's just like this old, comfortable shoe. You step in, and you're like, "Oh, well, this is awesome." And you just like enjoy it.
I don't think I would. I never. We played Wildstar, and I think the same thing. I mean, I've seen one of our friends, Kaywin, play Wildstar. At least have stuff up on her Facebook and whatnot about live streaming Wildstar. And I mean, I liked the look of the characters. I know it was a bit cartoony, but World of Warcraft's a bit cartoony. It doesn't seem to bother me. But again, it just seemed like they were reskinning and putting into a new universe and the same tricks that they had in World of Warcraft by a different company. So it didn't really interest me. Same thing with what was that other table game that we played?
Oh, we tried Elder Scrolls Online, and that was I remember because we were like, we're gonna play this all the fucking day, and then we got an hour or so in, and we're like, God, can we stop playing this? I mean, at least with Wildstar, we played for like 4.5 hours, and we're like, we can't. We had to like people had to leave and go places, but like that, it was just like, can we not ever play this? It's like, yeah, we can definitely not play this.
That one I didn't feel was anything like World of Warcraft. It just sucked ass all the way around.
Yeah, it just wasn't good in any way, which is fine. But yeah, I don't know. I like World of Warcraft, and it's comfortable, and it's fun to play. But yeah, I don't know. I'd be okay with maybe if some other people got Grand Theft Auto Online and wanted to play that.
Well, I feel bad, and I want to go back. I really, truly do want to get better at it. After using the station funds to get Evolve and only playing that one time with you.
Oh yeah,
I need to get better at that game because it seems really cool, but it was really kind of disheartening to jump in there with a bunch of people who knew what they were doing, and I really appreciate the few people that like, oh yeah, it's your first time. Like, don't worry about it. Yeah, we all, you all sucked the first time, but I really would rather play when I know what the fuck I'm doing.
Yeah, I can understand that, but Evolve is not. It's not. I know. I never understood. Like you were always like, oh, I need to know what I'm doing. It's like it's not that crazy of a learning curve, and there's a little fucking tutorial for every character, so you don't have to worry about the only one that really pisses people off that you don't know how to do is the trappers. If you can't fucking trap the monster in the sphere right, so just don't play the trapper.
Yeah, but don't you randomly get assigned? Oh
no,
yeah, you can say what you want, but sometimes I've been assigned trapper and I was like, I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah, well then you can always go, hey, does anyone want trapper? Because and if nobody wanted Trapper, that's their fault.
You can't complain if you didn't want to play it.
Yeah, nobody wanted it, so fuck you guys. You guys made me do this. This is your fault. Yeah, but Evolve is fun. I haven't played it in a while, too, because my friends I don't know. We all got it, and we played it when it came out and stuff, and we just haven't really had time to play it again.
And my circle of friends has been hitting Heroes of the Storm really hard. And trying to I'm finally level 40. I level capped in that, and now I'm trying to get. I bought the hero bundle, and I've been playing all of them, trying to get them up there. And I find myself really good at the stupid characters like Murky and Abathar, like the ones that nobody either has any clue how to play or doesn't have any idea what it does. And so I got like 5 or 6 people that I usually play with now that we go online. So maybe I can convince them to get Evolve. Speaking of games that we play together, really quickly, I know I just mentioned it. I wanted to talk about Loot Crate. I know it's a shameless plug for Loot Crate. And if you look at my name, if you happen to be watching us on YouTube, there's a link down here by my name that you can go to Loot Crate and put that in as a link, and you can subscribe to Loot Crate, and I get $5 for every person I refer to. But the reason why I really wanted to bring this particular week's up was not for a shameless plug, but because this month's April's theme was fantasy, and it comes with these little magazines for the people who are watching on YouTube. This middle magazine is the D&D intelligence check version where they have some information about D&D in it. But it was particularly cool because this month it came with this shirt I'm wearing of a dragon in the shape of an and symbol from the D&D logo. And I have to admit, I was waiting so long for my crate to come in that other people had gotten it like 2 weeks before me. And I ended up breaking down, like watching it on YouTube, other people unboxing the loot crate and watching these people like, oh, it's a dragon. Must be like, I don't know, must be something from like Game of Thrones. I'm like, it's in the shape of an and symbol. It's D&D, like, oh, whatever. And then, so it came with this nice shirt. I ended up getting a double XL because I thought maybe it would be really comfortable, but it's really, really fucking big. It came with this cool bow tie with dragons and D20s all over it, which is one of those like kind of clip-on bow ties, but that was kind of cool. A crown that's inflatable. Reminded me of the cheap stuff that you get at BlizzCon, like when they gave you Arthas's like Frostmourne that you blew up and then everyone popped theirs in the first day.
Still got mine. Also got my dwarf paddling and bubble heart thing.
Who did you had to get some of that from somebody, right? Or did you just get 2 bags?
That was I think I got that. I must have got that from somebody then.
Yeah, because it was a random. You got one or the other.
Yep, and I got both.
I got a 9 3/4 Harry Potter. It goes on your luggage tag. That was kind of cool. For those people who watch Game of Thrones, it came magnets, which are on my refrigerator right now, but a 4 gig little flash drive in the shape of a dire wolf. And then finally what I picked up was, or what they sent was the Princess Bride deck of playing cards. And so the face cards all have sayings and important characters from the movie. But it was definitely really cool. I'm looking forward to next month's. And I would recommend it, especially if you like getting weird shit in the mail that you can put around your computer to make you look more nerdy. Builds nerd cred.
Cool. So we also have another email. So
do we?
Yeah.
Was it? I looked. Oh, really?
Well, there was one that was spam. That we don't have to read. I haven't read it yet. But there's another one below that.
I built you.
Yeah,
I think it is spam.
Oh, is it spam? Damn. Yeah, you're right. That is spam. Damn it. They fooled me. They tricked me. Those bastards.
Because I went and looked at it. I was like, yeah, that's cool. And then I was reading through and I was like, wait, you had to spend money? No, that's spam.
Oh, fucking Joanna Davis. You tricksty little bastard.
First problem. It was a girl who emailed the show.
Yeah. You goddamn dumb asshole.
But I skipped out on D&D this week because of Humans vs. Zombies. So I know that you guys had probably a blast killing things and healing things and do whatever you guys do.
Well, you weren't there, and our barbarian wasn't there, so we controlled you both. Basically, I think I controlled you both and my character. And I don't know what any of your buttons do, so I just kept casting the scorching ray over and over again, because why not? Because I didn't know what anything else did. And then Moat, our barbarian's easy because he's got one button and it's kill the thing. So I just kept doing that. But we fought some mummies and then a beholder.
Oh wow!
Yeah. So
I mean, my guy's pretty. All the buttons usually do some kind of heal ability. Yeah, that channel over time.
I didn't feel like.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I don't blame you.
I was like, they're undead. Scorching ray, scorching ray, scorching ray. I did use your melee once, just cause.
Well, for the people that kind of follow what we do within the game, we leveled up to level 9 last week, and so I went because I'm a cleric. I was 8 levels cleric now, 1 level of warrior, so I can now, because I'm all tanky, I can run in front of people and tank a few hits for them while they're being attacked. So that was pretty much my goal, even though I didn't play this week, was just to take hits for people.
It's good. It was fun. It was relatively cool. We walked through a cave and killed some mummies.
I have no idea what the storyline is, A, because I missed this past one, but B, I just usually go along with wherever, because I really feel like any new character I make, the group's more like, hey, you look trustworthy, you should come along with us. And I really have no idea what I'm doing anymore. I mean, when I came in, I wasn't 100% sure I knew what I was doing, and now I'm really sure I have no idea. So I just kind of really don't pay attention in the in-between fights times because I don't know the storyline.
I tried to, but last week I had to step out before we finished killing all the goblins. Like, there was a few left. So it was like, so last week you all decided to go here. I was like, did we? Okay. But that's, I mean, yeah, it's D&D. It's fun. Did you ever watch Dragon Ball Z?
I did. I did not like Dragon Ball GT. I thought that was like the original Star Wars, or the not original Star Wars that we'll pretend didn't happen. But I did watch Dragon Ball Z.
How far did you get into GT? Because it gets good towards the end when Goku stops being a baby and they start being Super Saiyan 4s.
When people stop being nice and start getting real. I didn't get that far in. I just kind of gave up on the whole thing.
Yeah, they try it. The first part of it tries to like recreate the magic of the original Dragon Ball and does not fucking get it. But there is a new Dragon Ball movie coming out, Dragon Ball Fukatsu F, where Frieza returns and his new ultimate form, where he's all gold and shit and fights all the people. But that's coming very soon, and it should be interesting. They already last year they released the one where Goku fought a god for no reason because he's Goku and he just fights people because he's a stupid idiot. But apparently, Dragon Ball is getting a new series. It's been 18 years since they've had since Dragon Ball GT went off the air. So now Dragon Ball Super, or at least the translated version of Super, whatever that word is in Japanese, is coming soon-ish. I don't know. But yeah, according to The Verge, Dragon Ball is having a brand new series coming back. I don't know if it said when, but doesn't say. But the original creator is going to be returning to run the show, so it should be pretty interesting.
Are you gonna try to catch it when you can?
Maybe. Let's see. I'm trying to read this and say all they're saying is like the Japanese voice actors expressed excitement, which is okay. But yeah, I'm interested because obviously I loved Dragon Ball Z when I was in junior high. It was awesome. Then I learned, I take it with a grain of salt. I've watched anime that's more coherent and doesn't take 14,000 episodes to tell one story. But it does have its moments. It's like Doctor Who. Most of it's shit. But when it's good, it's real good.
I caught the part of the Android arc, all of the Cell arc, all of the Boo arc, and then I kind of stopped watching. I haven't seen anything really much before that, but I definitely feel like if it goes back to the Dragon Ball Z kind of take, a story arc like things, again, if the fights don't take 20 episodes, I would totally be on board for that. Yeah.
I would say the original Dragon Ball is probably superior to Z, even though people fucking love Z. But Dragon Ball Z, like, I watched the entire. I've watched the whole thing, and I've watched GT. I remember I watched GT in high school. I watched it in dubbed. It was years before it came out. I'd finished Dragon Ball Z, and I had to fucking watch it, and I just had to like get it off of Kazaa or LimeWire or some bullshit because it didn't, or maybe there might it's like pre-YouTube or at least early days of YouTube, so it was like hard to find it. I think it might have had streams, but it was just like it was really fucking hard to find, and it was just shitty quality. But yeah, I always been a big fan of Dragon Ball. I remember in high school I traced pictures of Dragon Ball and made myself look awesome like I could draw. I made anime music videos of Dragon Ball, which is why I'm the loser that I am today. And no woman would have me.
I think, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, I felt like Dragon Ball was good on the storyline because it had a good story to it with a mix of action, whereas Z was definitely more like, we're just going to jump from fight to fight to fight. And although there were arcs, it was more about the fighting rather than the actual like going places and doing things.
Dragon Ball Z, especially around from about Frieza outwards, became more about the build up to the fight, because the first like the first like arc is like adult Goku realizing he's an alien and that his alien, the last of his alien species are coming to fight him, and then it's him fighting Vegeta and stuff, and it's awesome and whatnot. And then with Frieza, it's like it's all this training because he's fine, like because that's all like he's not expecting it. I don't remember, it's been a while since I watched it, but I imagine it was, from what I recall, it was just like, oh god, I have to fight these people. Am I gonna have what it takes? But then with like the Frieza saga onwards, it was always, I don't have what it takes, so I have to train. I have to train and train and train. So it became like these like a bunch of episodes with them training and trying to get more powerful, and then like the build up to the fight, and then the fight actually happening, which is crazy. But I think like the original, it was like the first arc, and with the original Dragon Ball, it's mostly just like story action, and like less like build up.
I can see that. I mean, I didn't watch a good chunk of Dragon Ball either. Because part of that was like, okay, so now they're just going to go around the world trying to find all the Dragon Balls, and even though it's a bit of a spoiler, from my understanding, they find them all, they all come together, and then they do something with them, and then they all disperse again, so they have to go find them all again. Well,
that's the first sort of arc in Dragon Ball is them they're trying to find all the Dragon Balls, and also the bad guys trying to find them. And then like the first arc ends with the bad guy summoning the dragon, and then the pig dude asking for a pair of panties if you watch the dubbed version. But if you watch the Japanese version, he's asking for Bulma, the character, because her name means panties in Japanese, and it's like this joke that he asks. Basically, he's asking the dragon to make her fall in love with him, but what he actually gets is just a pair of underwear because, and it's funny. Like the Japanese, a lot of the jokes, like you fucking lose the jokes in the translates. Yeah, but it's a good show. You should try watching Dragon Ball, and then maybe Z. It is kind of hard if you're into like other things like Attack on Titan or something like that, where the action fucking happens. Like there's no build up. The first fucking episode of Attack of Titan, there's giant monsters show up and start eating people, including the main character's mother.
Well, and I finished that, and I felt, they kind of thrust you into the middle of this world on Attack on Titan, and then I just finished Sword Art Online. This season, the one that's on Netflix, and that was also kind of like they just kind of put you in the middle of it because he gets right into it. Yeah,
I like that what I liked about it, especially the first season, they don't dick around. Like after like 5 or 6 episodes in, they're like because the whole premise is like, oh, we're stuck in this video game, we have to get out, and if we die in this game, we die in real life. And then like 5 episodes later, it's like, well, we've been here for a year now, and most of us are just accepting that we'll never leave. And it's like, holy fuck.
Yeah, but then I feel it was such weird like writing, because then they're like, okay, well, now we're gonna have the main character hook up with this girl, and then a few episodes got by that, and then they're like, okay, well, now we figured out, they're out, done. I know it was 2 years in world time, but it was like it the way that the path went. Like, oh, you have to join us. Oh, he's part of our guild. Oh, we win the game. Oh, now we're out. And I'm like, what?
They solved the main problem of the show halfway through the first season. And it's the same thing with the second season too. I've only watched the first half and like the episode or 2 in the second half, but it's like the whole first half is like, we've got this big problem, and then they solve it halfway through, and you're like, oh, so what's the second half gonna be? And then I watched the first episode. I was like, I don't know if this is appealing. I still have to go back and watch it. But yeah, animes.
So yeah, I'll keep my eye out for the new Dragon Ball. I'm willing to give it a try.
Yeah.
I wonder if it'll be like Trunks, older.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I maybe, I don't know. It should be possibly, because I love the Future Trunks saga, especially the movie. that they did, the standalone movie of Future Trunks, is probably my favorite of the Dragon Ball Z movies. Or I think it's the fifth one. I also like the fifth one where like Kid Trunks befriends a bad guy, and I don't remember what happens, but I like that one as well. The movies are pretty. The movies I think are nice because they're a lot story arcs that are condensed. They're not always great, but you know they can be like really interesting, like the one with Brawly or all these other ones. So they're good. Dragon Ball's a pretty good show, guys. I like Dragon Ball. I'm gonna watch some Dragon Ball after this
and play some World of Warcraft.
Yeah.
Speaking of old things coming back, the other thing I noticed that that was discussed on the news this week was the Star Wars franchise is looking to possibly with really good chance that we'll open a theme park, because Disney is milking this for all they can get out of it.
I mean, and I will fucking attend it because I love. Whenever I go to Disneyland, the first thing I do is I go to Star Tours, and then I spend way too much time in I ride Star Tours maybe multiple times if I can, and then I spend way too much time in the gift shop, and it's only part of the gift shop. It's like one long gift shop that connects Star Tours and Space Mountain, but there's a little section that's Star Wars, and like the other Disney stuff kind of bleeds into it more than I enjoy, honestly. I wish there was more, because you like get past this little divider wall, and then like Star Wars stuff starts to fade away, and then like generic, and then like you see fucking Captain Jack Sparrow and Jack Skellington shit, and I'm like, no, fucking keep that shit in fucking in New Orleans Square. Fucking, this is Star Wars. But yeah, I would spend so much time there because I love it. I love it so much. I bought this life-size Salacious Crumb doll, this 1-to-1 Salacious Crumb vinyl doll, and I walked around all day one day when I bought it with it on my shoulder, and people are like, "What the fuck is that? Is that a gremlin?" And I'm like, "You don't actually. It's Salacious Crumb. He's from Return of the Jedi. He's Jabba the Hutt's like court jester who actually in the extended universe canon, he says Jabba finds him in a trash pile and he was gonna eat him, but then he says, "Hey, if you make me laugh one time every day, I won't eat you." So that's what he just has to make Jabba laugh every day, and then Jabba won't eat him.
I think the one thing I regret, I scoffed at it when I went to Disney a few years ago, like when I saw it at one of the side shops, because we went to downtown Disney, was an R2-D2 hat with the mouse ears on it. I'm like, I kind of want it, but I feel like it's such a bastardization of it. But I'm like, I still kind of want it. And then I was looking at this picture online of like an R2 unit with mouse ears on. I'm like, damn it, I should have got that hat.
My sister has the R2 units. There's even like a slightly newer one that's like, I think might light up. I went for the Spider. Now that they own Marvel, they have this. They have the Spider, and it's hard to find. Like they have a really tiny section of Marvel. There's like just like one little kiosk thing in like between where Star Tours and Space Mountain is. There's just like one little thing. It's got like 7 action figures, 2 T-shirts, and those ears. So I was like, oh, I gotta get them. Like.
I'm not sure. I'm still on the fence. I hope, and I'm sure everyone out there who's a Star Wars fan, I hope that Disney goes someplace great with it. And I know that with they've had the trailers and they've had the celebrations and everything looks very positive. I just hope they kind of continue in the right direction rather than going wherever George Lucas was going with it when he made the first 3.
And so far, I have faith that they will, because it's really working. The trailers have been good. I'm excited for what J.J. Abrams is going to bring to the franchise. I was skeptical at first because the second Star Trek movie was not really good at all, and the idea that J.J. Abrams would be in complete control of the 2 biggest science fiction franchises in the world scares me, honestly. But it's actually, I think it works out in the end. Hopefully he does a good job, and they already seem really awesome. So we'll have to wait and see. But yeah,
and of course this week we have we have the Avengers coming out, which I'm looking forward to.
Oh God, I keep I'm so actively trying to avoid everything everyone's saying, because all the Europeans have had it since like Friday, so I'm like fucking trying to ignore that shit, and then I'm trying not to read about it. There's already like torrents of it, and I'm like, no, I'm gonna fucking see it Friday. Fuck off. Give me 3 days. God damn it.
Well, I'm wondering how I feel about the idea that they're trying to. I saw the Fantastic Four trailer again on YouTube. I was watching it the other day for the next one coming out, where they go back to when they were younger. And I know that they're trying to merge the Fantastic Four and the X-Men together because they're part of the same universe. And I know that they're following in the footsteps of Marvel, trying to bring their universes together. I'm not sure how I feel about it. Feels forced now.
Yeah. It is kind of weird that it's the babyface Fantastic Four. Everybody is just so young looking. Even Doc Doom looks so young. Like everyone just the only one who doesn't look young is the guy who plays the Thing after they transform him. So it does feel like teenage.
It's Teen Titans meets Fantastic Four.
But that could be good, but again, that's also what they're doing with X-Men. They've the new XMen Apocalypse, the next big X-Men, which they teased in the last X-Men. They showed they cast a bunch of teenagers to play the X-Men. Jean Grey, Cyclops, Jubilee, and the babiest of all faces for Nightcrawler. But then it's like set in the 80s, so everyone looks really 80s. So Jubilee looks really awesome in like the leaked photos I've seen. But yeah, it feels like it's going to be tween superheroes, which is, I don't know. Hopefully it'll be awesome. My favorite part of the original few X-Men movies wasn't Bobby and Rogue. It was fucking Wolverine, And even though Wolverine will be in those movies, it was like Patrick Stewart and Hugh Jackman and all of the adults, Ian McKellen and stuff. But I don't know. Maybe we'll have to wait and see, because they do. I mean, the new. I mean, James McAvoy and what's his nuts who plays Magneto now. They're both really great. Hugh Jackman's going to be in it because obviously. So maybe it'll be awesome. I don't know. It's set in the 80s, so it could be fucking weird and stupid, and that's awesome.
But again, it's just they're trying to bring their universe together to pull off a Marvel.
Yeah, then they tried to. That's their whole thing. That's why they rebooted.
So that makes me wonder: are the Fantastic Four really just mutants?
No, they're not. They were changed because mutants are genetic.
Born that way.
They're born that way, and then they develop powers. Whereas they went to, in the original fiction, they go to space and get hit by cosmic rays. In this, they're going to some weird phantom zone, even though that's a DC thing. Weird alternate dimension where they're getting their powers. I guess I don't know. I don't know exactly how they're doing it, but that's how they apparently are doing it.
Fair enough. Well, the trailer looks promising. It'll look like it'll make for an interesting watch.
Yeah, I'm interested-ish. It didn't blow me away, but I thought, maybe.
I'm more into like the Avengers, and I like the Marvel characters more than DC characters myself. At least when it comes to the big screen.
Yeah, I think Marvel does a really good job so far of adapting their comics to movies, but doing it in a way that honors what they used to do, but also isn't beholden to everything ever. Because I feel like it's nice that they are willing to change, but also beholden to things. Like one of the things that's so crazy. Like I'm not the biggest comic book fan in the world. I don't know all of the ins and outs, but just all the little things, like Captain America 2, that Algerian pirate that he fights that has that cool fight scene on the ship. That's a villain from Marvel Comics, Batroc, who's I guess a really stupid French martial artist with a stupid mustache in the comics. And then the one guy who's pretends to be a good guy, turns out to be a bad guy. That's Crossbones, and that, and this is sort of what they said, and that's his origin story. The lady who pretends to be a nurse next door, that's Agent 13 or whatever, who's a Shield. All these little characters that they add in to the fiction.
It's flavor.
It's flavor that you don't have to know. You don't ever have to know. They may never even pay off as characters, but they're just little things. They're like, we need somebody to be a villain, to be just a one-off henchman. Well, why don't we pick a one-off henchman that's from the comic books? You know, that's just really interesting. I love that kind of stuff. And like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., they made up all these new characters. And then slowly you start realizing some of the characters that got made up weren't other. Like one guy turned out to be Deathlock. The one of the main characters, who's Sky, turns out she's an actual Marvel character from the she's a comic book character. Like I was like, oh my god! So like one of the bad guys turns out like it's nice, you know. They're not. I mean, they're never even any big characters. It's not like she turns out that she's fucking like the Black Cat or something. No, she's Quake. No one knows who the fuck Quake is, but you know, it's nice that now Quake's in a TV show.
Well, and then I'm wondering if they're ever going to bring together the Daredevil from the television show and the movies more closely aligned with each other than just hinting.
Well, they aren't going to do that because Daredevil, I don't think he's ever really been a big part of the Avengers, but Daredevil's a crime fighter. He's not a superhero. He doesn't go and fight aliens. I mean, he might show up in like, I don't know, they could throw him into the Infinity War because they want to throw everyone, I would assume. But what they are doing is there's going to be like 2 or 3 other Netflix shows. There's Jessica Jones, and also I know Luke Cage and the Iron Fist. I don't know if they're getting separate shows or one together, but all of those people are going to have their separate Netflix shows that are all going to be part of the same like sort of mini continuity. That's also part of the greater continuity, but also like because they're all superheroes in New York, and fighting crime. So they're going to be these like mini continuity within the greater continuity that all work together and then have a crossover show.
I found it weird though, like thinking that Daredevil, is a crime fighter. And that there's a guy trying to essentially tear down New York in Daredevil, the main henchman there, Fisk. But that Tony Stark, whose building is essentially located in New York, isn't flying in to save the day from people destroying his home. Yeah, and that kind of stuff though also does happen a lot in the comics. There's a lot of it, like why the fuck when Batman's fighting an army of like an army of clones of his dead son who are burning Gotham to the ground, why doesn't the Flash or Superman show up? You know, who the fuck knows? Because it's a Batman comic and nobody wants to read it. But occasionally there are crossover, but that's just kind of a greater thing in comics that happens a lot. But I think if they kept it like, because Iron Man fights supervillains, he doesn't. And Kingpin, he's a supervillain, but he's more of a criminal supervillain, and he's not the fucking Mandarin or anything else. That's true.
So that's just kind of how it relates. But maybe there could be crossovers. Like I would love that. Like I think I've said that before. Now that Spider-Man's going to be part of the universe, which the rumor is that the next Spider-Man movie is called Spider-Man: The New Avenger, which should be awesome. If like Spider-Man comes swinging, like if like Daredevil's fighting and Spider-Man shows up and like fucking webs a guy and then swings, because those two work together because they're both kind of crime fighters. Because Spider-Man doesn't do like big giant super villains. He fights powered people though because he's a powered person. But they do kind of fight in the same territory.
So is it like Daredevil, Spider-Man, Avengers? In terms of tiers of what they deal with,
yeah, I would say so. But also, I'm sure that there's tiers within that. I'm not as well versed, but yeah, because Daredevil is kind of like he's like low level street crimes and stuff, you know, that kind of stuff, taking down gangs and Spider-Man does that too. He does like bank robberies and stuff, but he's also constantly fighting, you know, Venom and, you know, Sandman and other, you know, powered people. And then the Avengers are fighting, you know, global catastrophes.
Well, hopefully this Avengers movie will be totally worth the weight of shutting yourself in.
I'm hopefully it will, because last night Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. did their big crossover episode, which is nice because they did that with Captain America. It was because Captain America fucking threw them for a loop, and that was nice seeing Captain America and then watching the events of Captain America Winter Soldier unfold in the next episode of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was awesome. So I'm looking forward to that kind of stuff, because last night was there was a build up to the Avengers. Then I'm going to watch the Avengers Friday, and then coming around Tuesday, I'm going to see how that affects the greater storyline, because fucking a billion giant robots are going to try and destroy the planet, so that they're going to address it. So they're going to have to address it.
Hopefully. Did you hear about this thing? Yeah, no, I don't know what you're talking about. Moving on. Yeah. Well, that was one thing. Is the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. worth it? I watched the first 3 or 4 episodes, and it didn't quite hook me.
I would say right around the halfway point is. I mean, I always like it because it's within the continuity. But it's what really fucking hooked me is that crossover from the episode right after, because the whole point is it's a television show about S.H.I.E.L.D., the government organization that fights supervillains and powered people and whatnot. And the end of Captain America Winter Soldier is S.H.I.E.L.D. finding out that for 70 years they've been infiltrated by Hydra, and Captain America destroying the foundation of S.H.I.E.L.D. and ending it. So that has very big ramifications on the show, and it's halfway through the first season, and it gets really interesting after that. But I don't. It's fluff. It's not amazing. It's just kind of it's all within the continuity. This season, 2 times, Lady Sif from Thor has showed up this season, and it's just nice. These sort of people showing up. Yeah, the season finale. Episode 2, they always do after credits things. Episode 2 ends with Nick Fury chewing out Coulson because he blew up a part of their plane. He's like, "You know how expensive this is." It's just nice because it's all within the continuity. It's what I like it the most. It's not amazing, but it's fun.
Well, I'll look forward to it, and I'm going to try to get kidnap one of my friends and go Friday night. That's my plan.
Sorry, I'm getting text messages from the people who are driving me.
It's because you're so popular. People just can't stop texting you.
Also, because I don't have a car and demand this one person in my improv group drive me everywhere.
Is it a person of the opposite gender?
It is.
And how's that working out?
Great. I don't have to get a ride from my mom, and I can just not worry about that shit.
But that's not the person that you were talking about a few shows ago?
Oh, no.
All right.
Oh, great. I just got a text message from this real asshole named Ike. Just says distraction.
Yeah, I've got nothing left. I think we've tapped out without Joe, at least I have.
I found that one story about Dragon Ball Z, and then I assumed Joe would regale us with stories of his 2 weeks in Germany, but no, he decided he just wasn't going to show up this week. So thank you guys so much for listening, and let's stop talking about all this horse shit like Dragon Ball Z and fucking movies and start plugging each other.
Yay!
My plug for this week is I don't know, my Instagram. Mostly shit on Instagram. You can check it out and see me doing stuff. I have another sketch that might be coming soon. I haven't seen the footage yet, but I think I should be getting it Thursday, and then I'll start editing it. And I am still working on that fucking Eric's opinion. I keep forgetting. I've written a huge chunk of it, and I've got an idea of what I want to do. I just have to fucking sit down and fucking finish it.
That was the one on the video game that one of our listeners sent to you?
Yeah. He's like, hey. I was like, well, if somebody bought me something, and they immediately bought me something. I was like, oh, great. Now I have to do this for real. Called my bluff.
I'm going to plug my Loot Crate link, because if you don't want to actually donate to the show, but you still want cool stuff and you want to give us stuff without actually having to pay us anything, you should totally visit my Loot Crate link. It's down at the bottom if you're checking the YouTube. If not, I don't know. Go check out our YouTube. It'll be an encouragement to go look at our show, and you can see our ugly mugs. And maybe Joe next week, who might actually show up rather than email the show an hour beforehand to tell us he's not coming.
He didn't even tell us he's not coming. He emailed it an hour before the show and said, "Hey guys, here's some questions. God, I can't wait to be there next week." As if we already knew. Like,
and then he's going to show up next week and be like, "No, I told you guys I wasn't going to be there for 3 weeks."
I assume when you Facebook how happy you are to be back in America and back home, that you're going to be on the fucking show. I don't know. What else I'm fucking supposed to... Anyways, thank you guys so much for listening. Have a wonderful weekend. But until next week, see the Avengers. Or don't if you don't care for that shit. I'm gonna, but that's just me. Because I'm hopeless. Really. I'm fucking hopeless. Just a garbage disaster human being.
Like the random dog bark in the back.
Yeah. How do I stop broadcasting?